Hello everybody, this is Blade Cross EXE, and welcome back to Fate Grand Order. Time for the Final Singularity, Salomon. Before I begin, I am gonna go ahead and say, even though this is the first day of the event at the time I'm recording this, I am late to the raid battles. I had to work all day today, so I didn't really get a chance to record anything. So, don't really expect a lot of the raids. I am gonna fight all the demon pillars myself, and defeat them on camera, of course. I hope I'm not too late. I hope to get in on some of the raid fight, but here we are. Salomon, Grand Temple of Time, Final Singularity. Here we go. Myrisberry. Wonderfully done, Caster. We have eliminated all 6 of the other masters. We have won the Holy Grail War. Once I use my command spell to make you kill yourself, the ceremony will be complete. The Greater Grail will be filled with the souls of 7 servants, and the magical reactor core used to reach the root will activate. And then, the third magic will finally take form. The third magic is the materialization of souls. Humanity shall escape the shackle of the physical body and be released from all suffering caused by its limitations, and advance to a new stage. You are a sacrifice for that purpose. I'm sure you understand, Caster. I nodded in agreement. Humanity's salvation and growth were not tasks given to me. If humans of that era wanted to grow, I had no reason to stop them. Just as it was during my life, I simply did what was required of me. In the Fuyuki Holy Grail War, there would be no servant survivors. All servants were to be eliminated. Even I, the victor, was fated to commit suicide, compelled by my master's command spell. No, that was a joke. I'm kidding, Caster. I'm sorry, I got overexcited. I have no intention of offering my emeritus partner to the Greater Grail. I won't use my command spells either. That wouldn't work on you anyways. Do you understand? I will not activate the Greater Grail. The third magic means nothing to me. As the head of the Atmosphere family and chairman of the Astronomancy division, I must reach the root in my own unique way. It's preposterous to ask me to rely on other mages' theories. The magical proposed by the Einsburn family, miracle proposed by the Einsburn family, the materialization of souls and the growth of humanity. I have no intention of being part of such fantasies. That was an unexpected development. Myrisberry didn't realize it, but that was the first and last time he would ever tell a joke. What surprised me most, though, was how much his thoughts deviated from what I myself had seen. I asked him, then what do you desire? I'm only after the Grail's ability to grant wishes, and my wish is clear. The completion of Chaldeus. The truth is, the one at Chaldea is still just a prototype. It was built to satisfy the sponsors. Sure, it functions as an Earth model, but it's far from being complete. It's just like the Greater Grail, Caster. The theory is complete, but the all-important field of power it is lacking. The Greater Grail requires the souls of heroic spirits, but my Chaldeus requires something more realistic. To power Chaldeus, I would need to take over power plants that would generate enough electricity for an entire country, for no less than 6 months even. Essentially, I need a budget that could fund an entire nation, but the only assets I have are my precious offshore oil rig, Seraphics, and a French nuclear reactor I managed to buy the other day. The other day? That's not nearly enough. Simply put, I need more funds. That's fine. Laugh at my absurdity and shallowness if you so wish. Despite the divine greatness that is the Greater Grail, I seek it neither eternal life nor the root itself. What I want is a giant pile of money. Myrisberry told me to laugh, but there's nothing funny about it. Creating a miracle was his life's work. It wasn't something he could just get someone or something else to do for him. Instead, he asked for the time it would take to complete his task to be shortened, probably because he didn't have much longer left to live. He determined that, in the 10 years he had left, there was no way to complete and activate Chaldeus. And so, to hasten its activation, he joined the Fuyuki Holy Grail War. The war was to him a shortcut. It would allow him to attain the necessary resources without becoming indebted to rival families or having to worry about financing and its inherent complications. He'd leave no traces. Nobody would be able to see what was coming. Thank you, Caster. I knew you would understand. Your cooperation will allow us to keep this ending our little secret. We can let the world think that Saber and their master won the Fuyuki Holy Grail War. Only a coward will cover this up, but if I don't, the other lords will be able to get in my way. No matter what it costs, I will complete the true Chaldeus and activate it. It will be necessary in order to secure humanity's future. By doing so, Professor Lev Shiba will not only be able to see the future, but the light of the past as well. and pseudo-spiritron projection, the race shift theory will no longer be just a theory. Why did the age of the gods come to an end? Why has the foundation of humanity remained unstable since the advent of the Anno Domini era? Once the race shift works, we'll be able to answer those questions. I knew this man was dangerous in a way unique to mages. Simply put, he lacked a sense of morality. But his burning passion and love for humanity were unwavering. I signaled my consent. This greater grail was not to be used to reach the root, but to grant one man's wish. To grant one man's desire. Yes, how ironic. The end result is turning out to be just the kind of nonsense the original ritual's creators promised. I laughed in agreement, but only because I could tell that Marsbury's smile wasn't entirely genuine. What about you, Castor? Hey, don't tell me you forgot what the Einstein said. The Holy Grail was to grant the victor's wish. Both the master and servant have the right to ask for a wish. I wish for immense wealth, but what about you? What will you wish for? You can't change the past, but you can change how it is viewed today. Or would you like to be incarnated and live a second life? I froze. I never expected this question. My wish? My wish. My wish. I never had the freedom to ask for one, so I was about to say I didn't have one. But no, I did. I can really wish for anything, Marsbury? Yes, anything but the life of the Marsbury Amisphere, the man who summoned you. Come now, Castor. No, Salomon, King of Mages, my contractor, my one and only friend. Knowing you, your wish will be a righteous one. Say it with pride. I remember my lips rose into a grin, and then the world went black. Doctor? Are you asleep? Doctor! Huh? Well, did I fall asleep? I'm sorry, guys. I know we're in a critical situation. Did we find the route to the singularity where Solomon's lurking? We barely have a day left. We're making good progress. If our calculations are correct, Chaldea will make contact with the Final Singularity in 4 hours. We'll begin with the space-time fusion simultaneously with Master Gabriel's ray shift. As long as it's within 72 hours of the fusion, we can escape the singularity by purging the Eastern Research Wing. And transfer back to Chaldea Observatory's normal time, December 31st, 2018. I see. Everybody take one last break then. You have only 4 hours, but get some sleep, get some food, enjoy a nice chat, or leave some records behind. Anything. Do something to refresh and relax a little bit. I'll keep an eye on things while you do. Understood. If anything happens while we're gone, call us, Doctor. Alright, it's time for the final stage. It's been 10 years since I came to Chaldea. It seems like a long time, and yet not. Honestly, this doesn't feel real to me. Oh! Oh, there you are, Foe. When I think about it, you're a pretty strange creature, too. Until Gabriel came, you only showed yourself around MASH. What made you change your mind? I thought you were the kind of creature who feeds on humans, yet had no interest in them, just like Merlin. Foe! Yeah. I can't really understand what you're saying. I may have been able to understand you back then. Yeah, I probably did. Well, I have a hunch about what you're saying. You're saying, are you okay with this? Magi got mad at me over the internet, too. She told me not to keep secrets anymore. Well, to be honest, I don't feel guilty. I can't explain my reasons, besides it still hasn't sunken in for me. Why did I come here to Chaldea? What was I doing before I did? It's all stuff I absolutely can't explain, not even a little. I told them I came here to protect humanity just because I felt like it, and that's pretty lame, right? Oh, but I can explain how I came to run the medical division at such a young age. It's because I studied like any other person, of course. Competence is what got me this job. Foo! Come to think of it, I spent the last decade doing nothing but studying, researching, and investigating. One day I had a feeling that humanity was going to end. It was one of those bad dreams people get sometimes. Eventually, I was forced to realize this feeling of mine was true. I had no way of denying it, and no strength to make sure either. The only clue I had was that it would begin in Chaldea. I was filled with a sense of terror, and I was compelled to do something. So, I did everything I possibly could over the past decade. Like I was fleeing from this doom. Like I was running away, screaming. And I'm about to find out how this will end. I'm scared, but at the same time, I'm happy. Once this battle's over, I won't have to worry anymore. I can finally be free to do what I want with my time. Woo! Why are you thwacking on the data on the demon gods? Oh, I see. You're worried about Gabriel, huh? As for who Solomon really is, well, I suppose I have some idea. Kingu was a good sample case. I thought the Solomon who appeared in London was a fake, but I didn't have any way to prove it. Heroic spirits have many aspects. That's why a single heroic spirit can manifest as a saber or a lancer, for instance. So even if the Solomon who incinerated humanity was a variation of one of the legends, he is still Solomon, the father of magecraft, and if he is the real Solomon, Chaldea has no way to beat him. There were times when pessimism won out, and I thought that this grand order would end with humanity's defeat. But now, I don't feel that way. If I'm right, that Solomon has one weak point. Yes, just one. If he is the real Solomon, and at the same time someone who is falsely claiming to be the king of mages, there is a void that Solomon can never reach, and that scares me. What scares me isn't whether I can take advantage of that opportunity. It's what I'm going to be thinking when I reach that void. So? I had a dream, a scene of a peaceful town, one I've seen before. Hey Mash, good to see you're doing well again today. I'm sure things will be quiet tomorrow too. Hey Krylite, what are you doing with that shield? This city's the same as ever. There's no danger around. That's right, we finally live in a utopia with no war, starvation, prejudice, or discrimination. There's no need to hate anyone, no need to fear anything, because we've been released from death. We've been released from the sorrows of life. We're happier more now than we ever thought possible. Life is no end. The world is no end. Tomorrow will never be worse than today. This is the bliss of eternity. Morgan Freeman? No, I don't understand the happiness they speak of. Solomon, king of mages, the image you showed me only frightens me. Oh. Why does it frighten you? These people have been released from finite lives, from the terror of death, from all their worries. What you see is a realistically blessed world for humans taking form. Why would that frighten you, Mash? A promised tomorrow, a today that lasts forever, a life you needn't fear ending. That should be your salvation. I thought you, of all people, would understand how wonderful it is to simply live. No, I'm sorry. I don't know why you show yourself to me, but I can see that you're concerned about me. Which is why it pains me to deny you, but I must correct you when you are in the wrong. Very well, then tell me, Mash. I'm interested in the conclusion you've reached. You mourn the end of life and speak of the beauty of eternity, but I'm sorry. I don't understand the sorrow. I don't understand what's so great about eternity. Death is the end that comes to all living things. It's a natural part of life. You say there's no sadness because there's no death, but I don't think eternal life is happiness. Why? The people of this town are happy. Eternity is the happiness that humanity yearns for. No, that's a lie. Their smiles are wrong. Their smiles are wrong? Are you saying that this state of satisfaction and freedom from all worries is a lie? Yes, smiling is what gets you through sadness. Humans continue smiling because they know their time is limited. Because the smiles in this world are different. They're just smiling because they're not afraid. Those are not smiles. They're just muscle memory. The joys of life belong to those who live in the moment. Solomon, king of mages, that is my answer to the question you once posed me. I don't think anyone lives because they're scared of dying. We live because we simply want to live. We do our best to get through the day because we can't wait for tomorrow. Our journey is not about trying to avoid the endpoint of our lives we call death, but rather to pass through it. So please, do not take away our desire to live. I see. So that was the question the other me asked of you, Why do you fight? Why, knowing your life will end someday, knowing it's ended already? Why do you cling to life? Why, when you realize that there's nothing in your future you can save? Well, you've just told me. That is your answer. A shame. Truly a shame. Only those directly involved could be satisfied by such an answer. The demon god Flaro spoke of you, of how a short-lived creature created by man lived her life. I pay particular attention to you as a sample case. No more. I no longer care. There's no path to a longer life for you. You've rejected eternity, and so you shall die. So die like the trash you are, and take all of Chaldea with you. Die as one who clung to life, as a brave warrior who overcame many trials and perils. Why? Because that is what everyone was foolish enough to see you as. It's sad, really. In the end, you're nothing more than another powerless, ordinary human. Okay, it's time. Hey, good morning, Gabriel. It's Da Vinci here with your wake-up call. I figured you'd be getting up from your nap about now. Oh, no need for any formal greeting. This is basically just me talking to myself. The command room is ready. Now it's up to you and Mash to begin the last order. But first, I have a request. No, it's less a request and more of a bit of advice. I reviewed Mash's medical exams during the brief rest. I'll be blunt. Her body is at its limit, both in terms of her life and combat ability. She doesn't have long to live and can only participate in one more major operation. I figured you needed to know, and Romani needed to force me to pass on the bad news. So anyway, Romani believed that it would be best not to tell her, but I disagree. For one thing, I think Mash knows. I see. Coming from you, who's been with her the most, I am not inclined to argue. That's it for me then. I know this all comes moments before the battle to determine humanity's future, but that's that and this is this. You've only got a brief moment before you head to the command room. Spend it in a way you won't regret. See you in the command room. Ciao! Good morning, Senpai. Did you just wake up too? I just took a nap and finished the physical checkup. If you're going to the command room, let me accompany you. Or would you like to go to the cafeteria and get a sandwich for some quick nourishment? Senpai? I can't bring it up. I think it's natural to feel pressured. Yeah, I'm feeling overwhelmed too. My heart is racing. But I'm not worried. It's the same... It's always been this way for me. From Fuyuki to ancient Mesopotamia, I was never confident I would be able to complete the mission. On the other hand, Senpai, even though you were more baffled than I was, you always managed to lead the way. So, no matter how much pressure I'm under, even if humanity's survival is at stake, as long as Senpai is my master, I will never feel worried. Gabriel, you're the best master Chaldea has, and I'm very proud of you. Mash. Foo! Good morning, Foe. Have you come to bring us to the command room? Foo! Foe is staring right at me. Foe! Foe? I see. Mash, you should stay in Chaldea. Thank you, but that's impossible. Ever since you took my hand in the command room, as the command room was collapsing around us, I've been exclusively your servant. If you're going to fight, then I want to fight too, even if it shortens the small amount of life I have left. So you know. Yes, and there's no reason for any extra concern. It's true that, unlike the others, I was born and raised in a special environment. But I don't feel sad about my life so far. I know the doctor was worried about me, but I don't regret my life. Nothing sad has happened in it. If there is anything to be sad about, it would be that I won't be able to see what comes next. My life has been very happy. Everyone was very good to me. Even if I only have a few more months left to live, I want to be proud of what I do with them. But that's not at all. My life has been more than worth it. I mean, I never thought I'd set foot outside Chaldea. That never seemed possible for me. But you saved me. Thanks to you, I was able to see the outside world, to see what color the sky was. My journey this past year has been a treasure to me, one I wouldn't give up for anything. So I'm going to go on this final mission. Salomon said that life has no value. Human history is meaningless. But that is wrong. I will deny it with everything I have, even if someone's life is going to be lost and forgotten. I've learned on my journey that the lives of every human in history are what built the present we live in now. It's true that I have no experience with life's sorrows. I don't understand the pain of the King of Ages that he spoke of. But I know the joys of life. Senpai, Dr. Roman, everyone at Chaldea, and all the worlds we've traveled through have taught me. So please, let me accompany you until the very end, Master. To prevent the incineration of humanity, to show the value of human life, and to retake our future. Thank you. Let's go, Mash! Right, Mash Crowley will support you with everything I have. Foo! Oh boy, it's gonna be rough. Right on time. Good morning, Gabriel and Mash. Your physical and mental states both appear to be stable. The two of you are in top condition. No, your mental state is a bit elevated compared to the usual. Did something good happen, Mash? Yes, I was lucky enough to run into Senpai in the hallway again today. Tactless doctor, aren't you? No, not really. I was just taking your vitals. I'm your doctor, after all. I have to be precise. So, wait. What do you mean by tactless? Did you literally bump into each other or something? Did sparks fly? Oh, right. Here I am, making my usual small talk. We're at the final stage. We need to stay focused and talk seriously. Master Gabriel, Mash Crylight. We've finally identified the location of the King of Mages' base, which we knew existed outside the normal temporal axis. Chaldea will now make contact with the Singularity. The entire facility will enter enemy territory. We will ray-shift into the enemy Singularity, but we'll also be physically connected to them. This will be different from our other expeditions. Moving between Chaldea and the Singularities can only be done at contact points. In other words, this is a surprise landing operation. Crazy, like Normandy. Just like always. Yes, thanks for that lively response. Military regulations and dignity are no concern of mine. Well, I kind of saw that coming. Fine, I'm gonna give up on being serious. Da Vinci, can you give us the briefing? Sure, leave it to me. Now, just like I said, this is a landing operation that sets it apart from all the other orders so far. There's no need to look for a grail. The mission itself is simple, but you've got 3 things to do. First, besiege the enemy temple. Second, defeat the King of Mages. And third, return from enemy territory alive. Defeat the King of Mages. And then return alive? Yes, thanks to Shiba's analysis, we know the basic layout of the enemy territory. The Singularity is its own little world. It's a conceptual universe. If Chaldea is a miniature model of Earth, then the enemy territory is a miniature model of the universe. Well, it's a universe with no other celestial bodies. On a human scale, it would be about the size of a single cell. That's what's interesting about that there's only a single life form in this universe, but we can ignore that for now. There's an incalculable amount of magical energy swirling around the center of the Singularity. That's definitely the King of Mages' throne. The throne will be your target, but the route connecting to it is currently blocked. That is to say, the temple gate is shut. Well, it's natural to protect one's seat of power. So first you're going to destroy all the surrounding areas in the enemy's territory. The enemy territory itself is actually a single massive life form. It's sending energy to the outer edges of the core. So, once the outer edges are destroyed, the gate barring the way to the throne will shatter. Destroy the outer areas to cut off the flow of magical energy. So that's what you talked about besieging the temple. That's right, our analysis revealed that there are multiple bases inside the enemy territory. If you destroy them, or shut them down, the path to the throne should open. Then you defeat the King of Mages once he's exposed, and finally come back to Chaldea. You'll have to walk back, though. Traveling via ray shift can only be done along the contact point, the entrance to the enemy territory. That's why it's a landing operation. It's gonna be such a chore. Once King of Mages is gone, the Singularity will disappear. In other words, we need to run back to as the Singularity collapses. Yes, that's different than before. We've never had to escape during a collapsing battlefield. Yes, normally the only time you've had to worry about that is if you were searching the ruins. So destroying the King of Mages is just the start. What's important is coming back. Both of you need to stay focused until the very end and make your way back to the entrance. As soon as we've ray-shifted the return you to your coffins, Chaldea will return to normal space. That's when the battle is truly over. Humanity and Chaldea will have won. Right, Roman? Of course, that's why we've come all this way. Enter the enemy Singularity and destroy the 7 bases. Reach the throne at the heart and defeat Salomon. Afterward, escape the collapsing throne and return to Chaldea via the contact point. That's the mission. Any questions? What do you mean the Singularity is a single life form? Oh, actually, there's probably no reason to go into it, but I'll tell you anyway. Do you remember Fuyuki's Greater Grail, the magical reactor core that caused the Fuyuki Holy Grail War? It was originally made from the dissected body of a certain mage. The greatest of geniuses, the greatest of miracles. The mage had her magical circuits removed and used as the basis for the system. That was a special case of turning the small system that is the human body into a real universe. And this Singularity is similar. It's a small universe made from the magic circuits of a certain mage. A reality marble that can exist outside of our temporal axis. for a long time as it's had a magical energy. That's the true nature of Solomon's base. That's why we had to call it this. The Grand Temple of Time, Reality Marble, Salomon. Dr. Roman? How pathetic. Looks like I'm the only one who has yet to be mentally prepared. But that's coming to an end right now. That look on your face, Gabriel, has cheered me up. As acting director of Chaldea, I order you to enter the coffins. There's only a little time left. If Chaldea reaches 2019, everything will be over. We won't be able to restore humanity. This battle began with defeat. Solomon wiped out the entirety of mankind before anyone knew what happened. This is the greatest murder plot in human history. Solomon is carefully planning out each move since his death in 931 BC. Please, put an end to this absurd scheme. Prove that an endeavor as hollow as Solomon simply needs to go up in flames without anyone ever knowing about it. Of course, leave it to me. Yes, leave it to us, Dr. Roman. Senpai and I will return to Chaldea, I promise. Good, glad to hear it. Knowing you two, you won't lose to Solomon. Now, let's begin the final order. Initiating race shift program. The enemy is Solomon, King of Mages. The mission objectives are to destroy him and return alive. Unsummon program start. Spiritorn conversions start. Race shift starting in 3, 2, 1. All procedures cleared. Final grand order commencing operation.